This is going to be a bit more divisive of a video and a bit more divisive of a topic that I've come across, especially in this particular update for the ReZero collab. They brought back co-op raids, which is great. You know, co-op raid is fun. The resources that you get from the co-op shop is great. It's just that this one particular change I strongly dislike that the devs did for the co-op raid. And that is, I'm going to bring it up on screen right now. It says the improvements to coordinated operation. The first couple of sentences, they don't matter. What matters is what I highlighted. It says right over here, at the same time, we will make improvements so that players fail to interrupt the boss's attack that occurs after the completion of the ninth stage rewards. The players' characters can be wiped out completely. This way, the players will be able to move on to do the next challenge quickly. Now, co-op raid is a pretty divisive mode in the game because there are players that do not like that they have to sit through possibly 3 minutes of everyone else on the team wailing on the boss. And the other side is, I'm gonna let you guys know, I am for this, where it's people are trying to get as high as a score as possible. I don't like the fact that players are using this to grief other players that are trying to reach as high of a score as possible in co-op raid. Now, the argument against that is like, oh, you could just have friends, or oh, get like 4 other people to play with you, or oh, go to the official Discord and see if people want to like co-op raid with you. That's great and all, but that's not solving the issue when it comes to people who do not have that option available to them. Getting 4 other people to play is a bit tricky because everyone has different time schedules. They're not going to be able to play the weekend or this time. People have work, people have other commitments rather than the game. And people who don't have that option, this is actively punishing those players who don't have friends on the same server as them. And let's say in my case, I'm playing on the global server and all of my friends are playing on the North American server, the NA server. So I have to rely on randoms to help me clear co-op raid. Literally, when the red circles appear, frame 1, these guys are hitting the gray circle, and then I'm not even able to get past 10 million points. All the other co-op raids I've played, I've been able to clear close to 100 million points with randoms. That is another talking point of this change, is that it affects newer players as well. I created a free-to-play account. My free-to-play account is not too well established, so I'm building towards that. Co-op raid currency, very easy to get when you get the rewards out of it. It's very good for newer players. And then for newer players to pair up with veteran players or whales, and then the newer players benefit from that because they end up getting a high score from it, so they get a bigger pool of the co-op currency. And people griefing and popping gray circles frame 1 is going to cause these new players to be frustrated because they cannot score high enough to get enough broken cores to keep buying the co-op raid currency every week. This change is not looking great. I understand people are complaining that they have to be subjugated to being in the match for 3 minutes, but I'm like, dude, it's only 4 or 5 minutes because of all the bursts going off, you know, the little cut-in animations. And you only have to do it like 3 times. I just don't understand why people are using this to grief. With randoms, I'm able to get close to 100 million, past 100 million. It's usually me and just 2 other players that have decent characters or are running the weakness for the boss. And then a newer character, combat power, maybe about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. And when I'm able to carry them to a higher placement in co-op raid so they could enjoy the higher placement rewards. I have like a Monster Hunter mentality where you want to help the newer player. You're a veteran Monster Hunter player, and then whenever a new player starting and then they're having trouble, you take them under your wing. That kind of mentality that I'm carrying forward for these co-op raids. There's a lot of new players that are playing this game right now. They want to pull Emilia, they want to pull Rem, and then people are griefing them on co-op raid, and then they can't get good rewards. And I can't help them with that either because people are griefing. It gets me so upset, and I hope that Shift Up does something to remedy this issue. Now, my solution to this issue is you could just make 2 separate queues for people who are loading in with randoms. One queue is, okay, we're trying to try to finish this now. Like, you know, the people who want to finish this as quick as possible, that they're put in one queue. and the people that actually want to score high with randoms in another queue. And you could still have the party system. Some people might say, oh, that sounds redundant. To me, it doesn't, because you could still play with your friends. The randoms that do want to score high, they could just hop into the second queue. Having more options is not a bad thing. Diversifying the options is never a bad thing for the player base. That's my solution to this issue that I've come across with this co-op raid. When the next survey comes up, I'm gonna put that into the survey. If I'm able to type it in, I'm gonna type everything that I have grievances with the current co-op raid for the ReZero event. But I just needed to get this off my chest because it is so stupid. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. That's gonna be the video. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Later. Take care.